if you're ready, we'll go.
I just told you that I'm ready.
Yeah, but you say a lot of things.
You say a lot of things. You're the
Yeah,
one
but
that
you don't
talks.
listen to what I say.
No, I don't. Why would I?
Well, respect for your elders?
Eh.
Yeah, you got me on that one. Welcome back to Talking Story. My name is John Minton.
Why'd you have to pause to take a sip?
Grab your frosty beverage. Pull up a chair. It is time for the Weekly Reader. It is Sunday. It is the middle of a holiday weekend. It is the last Weekly Reader of the month.
It is.
What else? I mean, there's a lot of excitement going on. The last Weekly Reader, that means we are going to spin the big wheel of books.
We are indeed.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to spin the big wheel of books. We're going to see what the Patreon read is for June. That's coming up a little bit later. I'm very excited. Actually, well, I'm not going to say that.
Say what?
I was almost going to, let the cat out of the bag. I was almost going to let the Mr. Pooh out of the bag.
Technically, we already recorded
We already spun. I didn't spin because I don't want anyone to call shenanigans.
Well...
And I could have learned, how many, I could count clicks, and I could.
It was you, though. You did spin it.
I had help and I had supervision.
He's not much of a super...
He's a great supervisor. That's all he does with those bug eyes of his.
The pug is not a good supervisor.
That's all he ever does. We did spin the wheel. We do know the winner. We'll reveal it a little bit later because we did shoot it with Mr. Pooh a little bit earlier. But how was your week, man?
My week was good. It was busy.
Yeah.
But good week for the channel, I think. I had a great time.
Another great week, right?
Yeah.
Another...
The Town Square video was super fun.
Oh, man. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy cool. We'll get into last week's video in a sec. First off, I want to wish everyone the best holiday weekend. Please celebrate responsibly. Please celebrate. Very special thank you for those that have served in this experiment that we call self-governing, that we call America here. I know it can get, contentious and it can get loud. It can get messy. But, for an experiment that's been going on for hundreds of years, that's going to happen. And it's still a pretty cool experiment to be a part of. So thanks to everyone that has paid the ultimate sacrifice in the building of this country. And let's just take a second this weekend to remember that and to celebrate and have an amazing holiday weekend, everybody. Read some great books.
Indeed.
Yeah. That's how I'm gonna spend the weekend.
I'm going to try.
In between, you're gonna fail.
Probably I will, yeah.
I know how packed our weekend is. There's no way you're getting reading in.
Well, today's pretty... Well, no, tomorrow's pretty packed.
Today's pretty big. Yeah, tomorrow is cookout. No, there's no way.
Yeah, you're right.
There's absolutely no way. I will get quite a bit in because I'm me.
Well, you're a machine. You read 100 pages a day.
I am a machine. We're about to get into it right here. What I read last week.
Well, go for it.
Let's do it. Let's look at it.
Look at that ridiculous stack of books.
I finished Tress of the Emerald Sea, our Cosmere catch-up. The book this month finally got to the Secret Projects book. It was so amazing to hold this. This is just a gorgeous book. And that's just part of the tactile experience of holding a book like this and reading it was truly wonderful. The story itself was truly wonderful. I talked a little bit last week, and I so enjoyed this. If I were to rank all of my Sanderson reads, this would kind of be, I think, kind of close to the top.
Not at the top.
I don't think at the top. I don't think
you gave pretty rave reviews for Words of Radiance.
Yeah, I don't think it could beat out Words of Radiance. But it'd be pretty close to the top.
You think it'd be second, or Way of Kings is still...
It would be top. I mean, probably be top. No, I don't know. You got to figure some Mistborn in there. It would be towards the top. That's as far as I'm going. Maybe someday after we do Cosmere Catch-Up...
You have to rank all of them?
Maybe we'll rank. Maybe that's what we'll do following Dragonsteel. But in this, what I love about him, his outreach is so amazing. Not only does he let us know where he is in the writing process and what's coming up and what his plans are, this experiment of his in prose and style and what's going on, he does in front of us and puts it out there for us. And I so enjoyed it. The whole thing is narrated by Hoyd, and I think because he was channeling that character, it caused him to elevate his prose as far as a poetical feel and metaphor and simile and everything else. And I truly, truly enjoyed it. And I think this experiment of his is going to pay off I mean, he's still a young man. I don't think we've seen his best work yet, which is astounding.
How old is he?
He's got to be 40s or something.
You think 40s?
Yeah, I think he's in his 40s.
I would have thought 50s.
I'm
going to figure it out.
If he's in his 50s, it's early. Look it up. You got a computer over there. What are you talking about?
You got a computer right in front of you.
Yeah, no, the keyboard's up there. You know I'm not good with that stuff. It scares me. The lights are blinking at me. And you're lucky that I don't go into start going into like a seizure or something with all this.
Well, fingers crossed. Well, he is 48.
48. So we're both pretty close. So I don't think his best work has hit us yet. On his artist journey, I think I probably won't be around for it. Maybe you will. I think down the road, this experiment's going to pay off for him in the decades to come, and I think his best work is yet to come.
Well, he is the Disney of fantasy right now.
He is it's something to watch. So truly, truly love this. Had a very whimsical feel. Had a very kind of Stardusty Princess's Bride feel. Had a great ending, wrapped up. The Cosmere connections were packed. There were quite a few. I would say absolutely, definitely you want to get through Mistborn Era 1 and Elantris before you would pick this up if you want to catch the connections. Just, and the magic, the world.
Really? Didn't Sanderson do a video saying you should start with Tress?
He said this is one you could start with.
You disagree?
I would disagree. There are some huge, you don't know what these things are if you haven't read, I would say, Era 1 and Elantris.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think you'd still enjoy it. It's just a fun romp. It's just a great story. It's swashbuckling adventure. There's a wonderful twist at the end, which I kind of saw coming, but it was still wonderful. And the world building, this high seas adventure, but it's this not water. They're sailing on this like fluidization of particles that's like, there's like vents at the crust that come up, and because of the air, it disperses these particles and gives them fluidization, and they can sail on them. And if those vents stop for a while, they're landlocked for a bit, and then battles can get very contentious. Again, his world building is just inventive and off the chart, and had just a great, great time with this. Really makes me want to get back to the next Cosmere catch-up book, which is going to take a chunk of time, and you'll see that coming up.
Is it Oathbringer?
Yeah. And after that, look, hey, I had to clear the palate. I had to grab a little bit of a sci-fi feel, a little bit of a novella. Now, I'm going to go over, this is going to be a little bit of a different take on this. I usually go over the story and those kind of thoughts, but I really want to give Thomas Bethea, who was so kind to send this to me, and really wanted my thoughts about it. My thoughts are going to be more geared towards that, what I think this young man is going, what he's doing, and how impressed I am with it. It is think about an 80s action sci-fi flick. It's got that timey-wimey, time-jumping, butterfly wings can cause all kind of things, and what you do, you have no idea what that's going to cause down the road. And it's got all that in space. Now, what I would say to Mr. Thomas Bethea, this is a young man. This is a man just starting off on his artist journey. And wow, that excites me immensely. Excites me immensely because I see myself in that. I was there once. I heard from many, many people how silly it was, but still wouldn't be deterred. And I absolutely feel when I read this, what I feel that I get from him is imagination and dedication. He's got those two things in spades to not only complete a novella, but to self-publish a novella and get it out there and get it to people and say, I want your honest feedback. This is important to me. I really want to know your thoughts. So the bulk of the time I'm going to spend with this is the thoughts on that. What I would say for you going forward, Thomas, is time and space. Time and space. Give yourself time. The audience is with you. There were moments here that happened oh so fast. Somebody, a young man meets a young woman at a dance, and we are at the end of that whole courtship within a page, three-quarters of a page, half a page. Take some time. We want to get to know these characters and move with them. There's a lot to that courtship dance, from the first eye contact to the first dance to the flirtatious banter to the missteps before it ends up where it eventually goes. Now, I know you're compressing to get into a novella, but maybe this is something more than a novella. Take your time. Characters need time for us to connect to them, and characters need time for them to define themselves. Time will give you, how long has this character been in existence? What age is he or she? That's going to come into what type of character they are, and that's going to impact that character's voice, distinctive voice for each character. So we can start to delineate the differences when people are speaking, and we can start to fill in our mental picture as what you're describing. We can see different characters talking. What I would say, sometimes being a young person, some of the characters that are a bit older, longer in the tooth, facing what could possibly be the destruction of not only their universe but all universes, they're not as world weary as a man of my age that I could say I would be. I carrying that burden on my shoulders. The weight of that would cause me to speak differently, move differently. Sometimes at the end of a scene, a high five of somebody that age when they're carrying that kind of weight and that crisis, that might not be the character voice that would make that person be distinctive unto themselves. That's more of a younger person's choice, possibly. So you want to start giving all your characters time and know their backstory so that you can start to delineate certain voices for each of them and make them all distinct and different people. Give yourself time to create space, which you do a pretty good job of creating space. I could visualize all of these different locations that you were in. But I would say if you can just, as you move forward and you start collecting tools and you start sharpening tools and put them in your box, those are some I would focus on. Giving yourself the time and making sure your characters have distinctive voices, and giving yourself an understanding of the time that those characters have traveled up to this point that you are chronicling in your story. I think that will be, from having read this, my thoughts to you. And again, I'm one individual. These are my thoughts. You as an artist, take them or leave them. If they don't speak to you, move on to the next person that can give you thoughts. Those are the thoughts I would give you moving forward to try and start looking at sharpening those tools for yourself. And I so am committed to getting you thoughts. I'm going to put this out there. We're going to put this out there, and we're going to cover postage, and we're going to find another discerning reader. I know you sent this to me. I'm going to send it to someone else that is committed to get you another fresh take on your work and give you discerning, open thoughts on your work. And we're going to get this to someone else to get you more feedback. It's not just going to sit somewhere in a box here in the studio. So that's what I think the best I could do at that point, at this point for Thomas. And I got to tell you, man, I am in on your artist journey. I want to know what happens next. I want to know where you go. I want to know how you study. I kind of feel like I'm a bit invested in you now. So please keep me updated and let me know what's happening with your artist journey.
Awesome.
Okay. Next, I picked up and finished The Silver Blood Promise. So this could tell you right away what I thought of this book, because I blew through it that fast.
Pull it back a little bit so it's in focus.
I don't know. Will it get in focus? Is it a light thing?
No, it's because the camera tracks you, so you're in focus. There you go.
Let me just talk like this. Hey, Tor, thank you so much. Tor was nice enough to send me a copy of this. So I kind of juggled around my TBR for the month because I absolutely wanted to read this. I've seen Patrick say is what he thought one of the best debuts of this year is going to be. Mike kind of juggled his TBR around to read it. So I wanted to do the same. I was really charged and suffering from a little bit of FOMO, so I wanted to pick it up. And I am so glad I did. What a great debut. What a great debut. I did have some problems with it, but overall, am I absolutely looking forward to book 2? Oh my gosh, yes. The threads that he leaves that we're going to follow going on into book 2 are just amazing. In a way, it was written kind of for me. I've got that. Because of my past history, I am very interested in the relationships and the journeys that fathers and sons take and how fraught those can be. So we start with an estranged son that is dropped a mystery from his father that he feels he is indebted to unravel because it is his father and they have been separated for a good while. And I'm being vague here for a reason, obviously no spoilers. So this takes him to a whole different place where he has never been before. And he's carrying some guilt and baggage from his own past, kind of lost, kind of a young man finding his direction, finding his way, what he's going to do after this happening that he's gone through. So he finds himself fish out of water. I love that trope as well. All new city. So we're getting to see, kind of like in that old movie, he's a stand-in for the reader. He's that James Stewart, that Jimmy Stewart, that everyman in this city looking around going, oh my gosh, they do it this way here. Oh my gosh, what is that? Oh my God. And you're just led along through the city and this world as it unravels before you. And the world building is just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. It is so appealing. This world's had a civilization that was at the heights and now they're gone and you wonder why. So it's got a little bit of that archaeologist Indiana Jones feel to it. And when he hits this city, as soon as you start to understand how the city goes, then this mystery pulls you down into its underworld. So you start to see the organized crime angle of the city, and he gets more and more and more deeper and over his head in this mystery that he has to unravel. And he starts to find out how big this mystery is. And I am at the crux of something that is huge. And what can I do? And how can I step up at this point in time? And the characters he meets, this character I was speaking about, main protagonist is Lucan. The characters he meets in the young gutter rat flea who tries to pick his pocket, and they become just like a Batman and Robin type of feel. And then the other people he meets in this underworld that's pulling him along, and the technology he's meeting from this past culture that is just gone. And then we start to find there's even more. Every page reveals even more to this world. And it has such a quick, fast adventure feel to it. Every chapter leads you to a clue to that mystery he's beginning to unravel that becomes to just unspool in this grand and bigger tapestry. And then you go from one clue to the next clue to the next clue, and it just pulls you along in such a well thought out fashion that the plot builds to. And the ending does not let you down. It is absolutely a big crescendo at the end that you will enjoy. I will say, if you're looking for a new series, a new author, to give this one a try. James Logan, this is his debut, but it is not going... when all the books are out, I don't know if this is a trilogy, I kind of hope it is, but when all the books are out in this series, I think we're going to look back and go, wow, I was so glad I got on the ground floor of that.
Oh, interesting. Do we know like when the next book comes out, or
We have
any
no
information on that? Oh, okay.
I
All
don't.
right, then.
Maybe Tor does. I don't know. I bet you James Logan does. He's probably hard at work somewhere.
I'm sure Tor has more information than we do.
I would count on that. A few problems I had. He does try to do some things that I've seen before, not to as good effect as some of the masters do it, like such as Joe Abercrombie and things, having somebody's internal monologue in italics along with it. The amazing thing that Joe Abercrombie's able to do with that is oftentimes they're so completely different than what the character is saying, what he's actually thinking. There is humor involved in what the actual thoughts are and what he has to say in polite society. And he does the same thing. We get an inner monologue, but oftentimes it's kind of the same thing that's happening. It's the same thing he's saying, and he's thinking it, and it's like, well, did I really need that? I mean, he just said something. So I don't think he's where he's going to end up on the fantasy scene, but this debut shows you where he is headed, and where he's going to end up is someplace special indeed, I think. And I would absolutely recommend, if you haven't put this on your list because it's a debut and you're waiting, hey, put it on your list.
I just can't believe Tor actually sent you something.
Yeah, I know. I was pretty knocked out about that.
Kind of weird.
I don't think they know who they were sending that to.
No, they just accidentally put your name on there.
I don't think they saw what channel this is.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think I don't. It's like I don't think they realize this is the doofus that reads channel.
They're mistaken with someone far more professional than we are.
Somebody that has way more sway. I think someone. Yeah, they absolutely didn't know. And after that, hey, I'm in the middle of my little palate cleanser because I did get Stephen King's new collection. And I sometimes I just like to have a little short story, a little something in between books. And I started the first short story in this collection. And I find it kind of fascinating. So this is, I mean, let's face it, Stephen King has been asked 587 million times, where do your ideas come from? And this first short story is kind of an examination of creativity and a Faustian bargain. How far would you go to get it to have success in that creativity? And I'm about halfway through the first short story. I kind of started it later last night. I'll finish it up today. But I don't know how it's going to end, but this guy, this King dude, this Stephen King guy, he is the most, I think he may be the most habitually readable person. I mean, you just can't stop.
Well, I think he's so ingrained in everyone's comfort reading,
Something about his, I mean, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's an easy chair. His prose is just an easy chair. You hit it, and it's like, I'm just staying here for a good 5-7 hours. It's just, I don't know what it is, but I'm enjoying the first short story, and this is kind of how I'm going to use this one. I'll probably do like a story between the larger reads and things like that until I come to the end of it, and I'll hopefully cover all the stories as we go along, and then at the end, maybe we'll look back and say what kind of collection it is. He has had some of the best collections, like Night Shift. I would put up there as an amazing collection.
Did you put Night Shift in your top 10 Stephen King?
I'm pretty sure I did.
I thought you did.
I know I put Different Seasons, which is a collection of novellas, but I'm pretty sure I put Night Shift. That's one of the... So what's coming up after that? I still have a few days left of this month, and I have run out of TBR stack, guys, so I am throwing in N.K. Jemisin's The World We Make. This is book 2 in the Cosmic Horror Duology she has put out. I really enjoyed the first book. And this helps me wrap up a series that I'm in because it's only 2 books. I know that's a bit of a cheat, but I'm going to take it as a win.
I mean, I'm not going to stop you.
Good. So I'll be grabbing, as soon as I finish this short story, I'm going to pick this up. I will have finished this long before we meet next week for the weekly reader, and I'll be able to tell everyone how it was and I'm finishing my month out with N.K. Jemisin and Cosmic Horror. Come on.
Is that signed?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
So, nothing wrong with that.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, before we go any further...
Is it time?
Before we go any further, I absolutely want to thank all these amazing humans right here. These are our patrons. These are our correspondents, our directors, our producers here on the channel. They keep the lights on. They make the decisions. All the way up to getting their content, and taking over this channel. And let me tell you something. When that happens, the quality takes a huge step up.
It really does.
We found that out.
We did.
So if you are interested at all on making decisions and getting your content here, hey, right down there in the description box, you will see our link to our Patreon page, and you can explore that if you are interested. And one of the things they have been voting on all month long is the bracket.
Again, you don't have to do a sound effect.
I think that's the winner. I think one's gonna stick.
Already a sound effect has been chosen.
Yeah.
We're sticking with it.
And it is
No, that's not
this
it.
right here.
No.
So this bracket is full, which means all those choices go down to the big wheel of books. And as we said a little bit earlier, we spun it. So let's see what happens. Take a look at this. Okay, we are here with the official judge for the big wheel of books. That is Mr. Pooh Bear. He is going to make sure that no shenanigans go on with the spin.
Looks like a gremlin. He's licking the wheel.
Eating the wheel.
He's already spinning.
He's ready to spin. He is ready to spin. Okay, let's go over the fine humans our Patreons have been voting all month through the brackets. We've narrowed it down to 10 possibilities. Let's look at what we got here. We got Spear Cuts Through Water. We got Gardens of the Moon. We got Annihilation. We got Pariah. We got Dreams of the Dying. We got Witchy Eye. We got Assassin's Apprentice. We got An Angry Pug. We got Hellmouth. We got Will of the Many. We got The Tainted Cup. And we started at Spear, right? Spear Cuts Through Water?
I wasn't listening to what you were saying.
You know what? That's your story a lot of the times around here.
I just tune you out.
I think it's a growing concern on my part.
Well,
All right. Look, Pooh is going to spin.
no, okay.
And whatever comes up, this is all month long worth of voting. Whatever comes up, I'm going to read in the month of June.
He doesn't look excited about it.
Look at this. Look at the excitement on this face.
He looks tired.
This is, well, he always looks like that. He works very hard around here.
He does nothing.
He absolutely does. Okay, here we go. We got to get, pause up, Pooh. Pause up. We got to get a spin in, okay? All right, here we go. You ready? Should we count it down?
Go for it.
Okay, 1, 2. Well, that was anticlimactic. Okay, here we go. Here's 3. All right, that was a good spin, Mr. Pooh. What do we got?
Tainted Cup.
Tainted Cup. What an amazing job you did. The Tainted Cup. Robert Jackson Bennett. I think I've only read one of his books before. Let's see what this is. I hear it's like a murder mystery starting of a new series. It sounds really interesting. So, everyone that voted all month long, thank you so much. Stay tuned for our coverage of Tainted Cup in June. Thank you, Mr. Pooh.
He's just a blob.
Tainted Cup. I'm pretty psyched about that.
I know nothing about Tainted Cup. Is that a thick one or?
You know what? I don't even know.
You don't
I better find out.
Do you have it?
I don't have it.
Oh, you'll have to get it.
I have to get it in. I know it's Robert Jackson Bennett. I know it's like a murder mystery. I know it starts and kicks off a new series that's kind of fantasy, maybe Holmesian, detective-y. I don't know. It sounds great.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. It sounds absolutely great. So I will be getting that in probably as soon as I walk away from this desk.
Well, that's quick.
So
410 to 432 pages.
that's perfect.
That's not, you can fit that in easily.
I can squeeze that in perfectly. What a great, big thanks to Mr. Pooh.
I don't think he did it.
I'm pretty sure he was looking out for me.
I think it was our wonderful patrons.
Well, big thanks to our wonderful...
Not your mogwai looking dog.
No, come on. He's a great mogwai.
He's pretty ugly.
He is an amazing mogwai. So, hey, last week on the channel, you said a little earlier, wow. Not only did we go over a lot of crazy categories and sit with a couple film students, one being Jacob, and the other being the lovely Lila who came in with us, and go over favorites in every category and get swayed that I was not right and get hit with darts, and that was a lot of fun.
I will
For
say...
you.
It was a blast for me. Anytime that gets to happen.
My ear's still not right.
I did notice a comment that said there was a disappointing lack of animated movies on the list.
You know what? We're going to have to maybe, before Lila goes back to school...
I'm going to throw you under the bus for that. Because you're not much of an animated movie kind of guy.
I am not. And I responded to that comment, and I can go over a little bit for anyone that cares. Look, all that time, I don't watch a lot anymore. I'm obviously reading a lot more these days. I don't watch a whole lot. When I do have the time to watch, being after all those years chasing it and being on the stage myself, I want to watch a performance. I want to watch actors work. It's not just that I'm catching a story. That is a big part of it, of course. But I do still want to watch. When I take the time to watch something, I want to see an actor's work. And I know the voice performance can be astounding and amazing, but I want to see the whole package, the whole physicality and everything that the artist brings to a performance. So I don't spend a lot of time looking for animated stuff.
That's fair. Although I will say I watched Coco for the first time last week, and that was amazing.
The animated stuff I've seen, I have been blown. Like Up is still like way up there for me. One of the most amazing, emotionally charged animated things I've ever seen. I'm not saying I don't enjoy them, and probably I should take myself out of my comfort area and watch more. Maybe we'll get into that.
Maybe. I think they even said anime.
I think they did. I think they were talking about Studio Ghibli and
yeah,
Zoom.
Which I would have said Spirited Away. Maybe Satoshi Kon's Perfect Blue. I really love those movies.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched an anime movie?
I don't think so.
You're missing out, man.
I'm sure I am.
They're really great.
I'm sure. See, this is what I love. You can't do anything about movies without getting into a discussion and finding new stuff to take you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about it. And then after that, wow, Town Square. I mean,
I think Town Square
was mind-blowing to me.
I think that's the coolest thing we've done
I
so
think
far.
that is up there on the mantle for me as the coolest thing we've done
Yeah.
since we started.
I can't wait for the next one.
Big hats off to all of our Patreons that sent in their material and took over the channel and showed us the right way to do this. I mean, wow, it was so good. It was so good. I can't wait for next month.
I hope more people submit.
I hope so too. I hope
I
the
want
people
to see more people. Like it really doesn't have to. You don't have to set up lights. It doesn't have to be good. It can be vertical. It can be horizontal. It doesn't matter. Just take out your phone and record
let's
yourself.
face it. If you're watching BookTube at all, right?
Yeah.
Like it's because you love books, you love stories. If you want your voice out there, if you want to join the conversation, hey, you've got a studio in your pocket. That phone that you carry everywhere can do it all. That's all it takes, and it's so easy. Just zip it to our email address. Everything's on the Patreon page. Walk you through it. If you have any problem, contact us, and we will help walk you through it.
Absolutely.
But we absolutely hope more patrons take us up on that offer next month. I think they will. I think it's going to grow.
I hope so.
I think
I really enjoyed doing it.
Love it. Love it. I think it's only going to grow bigger. I really do. So that's what's coming up next week.
I don't remember.
Did you even ever know?
I don't think I
don't think
did.
you ever asked me.
No, you probably told me, and then I think you probably told me once, like a week ago.
This is just so disconcerting to me. Is there anything I've ever said to you that you kind of remember?
I don't think so.
Like no fatherly advice, like to thine own self be true. Nothing like you've got nothing. Where I'm concerned.
I don't think you have ever unironically said to thine own self be true.
Yeah, I mean you're just a big walking void.
Yeah, but no, I do remember that when I got the wind knocked out of me, you leaned over me and said, "You feel like you're gonna die, don't you?"
Well, that was your fault.
It was my fault, and yet
you say that like I punched you in the stomach, which is not what happened.
But in my time of fear.
In your time of fear, I said, it feels like you're going to die. You're going to be okay. Because I remember the first time the wind got knocked out of me, I was scared I was going to die. So I was just telling you, wait it out. You'll feel like that.
See, but there's the way that you said it just now, and then there's the way that you actually said it then, which is with a big smile and laughing.
You know what? I'm a happy guy. I'm just a happy guy.
The smile doesn't go away.
Look, it very rarely, I can't think of a lot of times that it does. Look, it was not you. We don't have to relive that.
What were we talking about?
But it was your fault. You know.
Oh. No, I know it was my fault. Okay. Absolutely.
That was absolutely self-inflicted wound.
Anyway, what videos are we doing
next week? Next week. Okay, this is what we're doing next week.
Okay.
We are going to put out the TBR for June because now we know what the patron pick is.
Right.
So we can put that together and we can put the TBR out. That will be hitting you Thursday because anyone that wants to join us for the patron read and some other reads, I would really love people to come along with too. So we're going to do that Tuesday. Give everybody plenty of time to plan their June. Go pick up a book if they need to. Or they may just have it on their shelf and want to join in with us. And then after Tuesday, our Thursday video, this is going to be a big one. I have the list right here. I have and let me tell you, I'm still changing it.
People are going to pause and go frame by frame.
No, that's why I didn't hold it up. I did that. So look, one of the first lists I did when we started a year ago was my favorite sci-fi reads. It has been a year. I have read quite a bit of sci-fi on the channel, so much so that it made me go back, rethink, recontextualize, tear apart my list, and make a top 10 sci-fi read list after a year of BookTube. And that, I'm going to try and do these books as my journey here goes, and they obviously are changing because this is very different than what I did a year ago.
I have heard you on a few occasions over the past couple of months say, "Hey, what did I bring this up in the last top 10 sci-fi today?" oh no, that's not right. Or, you know, like
It's
you'd say
that,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
I think some things have crashed my list. Some things that's like, and then some of my things at the top are just like in stone, and I don't know if they can be overtaken. And then some things I thought would have crashed in when I really start to think about it. Oh, I gotta squeeze those in, and it drops and it drops and it drops, and then I feel bad about where it dropped, and then I have to tear up the whole list and start over again. But I have a list. I have a list. It's finished. And it's still being worked on and changed. But Thursday, I am doing, after a year of BookTube, my top 10 sci-fi reads. Summer series, summer standalones. These are just my sci-fi reads that I have to put on the mantle as these are my top.
All right then.
And then we'll be right back here for Weekly Reader.
That'll be nice.
We'll be into the month of June.
This nice little comfy space.
Yeah. This, I'm telling you, is the best. Some of the best stuff of the week. I look forward to this all week long.
Oh, it doesn't top Town
Hanging
Square,
out with
though.
people.
Doesn't top Town Square though.
Well, no, nothing tops that. That's by. I think that's by itself. But hanging out with you every week, not you, not so much you, but
No,
you.
I'm aware.
Not so much, not, but you. Hanging out with you every week and talking about books is like, it's one of the best parts of my week.
I don't get to talk books, but I have a good
You would
time
have to
too.
read first,
I would.
or at
That
least
is
listen.
the only prerequisite to talking
That
about
is the
books.
only anyone else can do it. You just have to read it. Hey, how was your week? What did you think of Town Square? What did you read this week? Hit us up in comments. We love comments. The whole reason we started this channel was to talk back and forth with you about the books we love and the kind of books we love. So hit us up in comments. Let us know how your week was. Let us know. I hope it was filled with 5-star reads. Let us know how your holiday weekend is. We will respond as quickly as humanly possible because I love talking to everybody. And while you're down there, I love that thumbs up button down there. Hit that.
It takes about a second.
It takes about a second. It helps us find new people. It helps us grow the channel. It helps us do everything we do here. And if this is your first time, or you've been by a time or two, and you just, the jury's still out with these guys. I just don't know.
I don't know
the jury
either.
came in. Maybe that jury came in today. Maybe they handed you the envelope, and that envelope's like, yeah, you want to keep watching. And if that's the case, hit that subscribe. It is so simple. Boop, takes a millisecond. It's done, and it feels good.
Man, that jury metaphor went on a lot longer than I thought it would.
I was kind of a long way around the barn to say subscribe,
Yeah,
right?
it really was.
I got problems.
That's what this channel's about.
This channel is becoming more and more about the long way around the barn to say something simple.
Man, you've got like just one patch of hair sticking straight up.
Well, it's like the channel's becoming about that too.
Mom's gonna be very upset with
Mom
you.
is not going to be happy.
No.
She's
She's gonna make a short out of this. And post
hopefully
it.
hopefully she doesn't watch this one.
Oh, I'm sure she will.
No.
She watches all of them now. She makes all the YouTube shorts and the TikTok, and she does all of it.
That's amazing, but at the same time, I get notes about my hair.
She did tell me, when she first started editing YouTube shorts and stuff, she told me, it makes me realize how much I don't like hearing him talk. Or it makes me realize how boring he is, or something like that.
I'm sure she didn't mean for you to tell me that.
And yet I'm sure she wouldn't mind if I did.
I'm sure that was probably like something in the moment in confidence you were sharing that you weren't supposed to tell me.
Well, here we are.
Sometimes I do things with the family and I have to ask myself, solitude's nice, right?
I don't think that's a question.
It is. Solitude is a nice thing, right? It is. I think it is.
Yeah. In doses.
Look, we have taken up enough of your time on this holiday weekend. If you are still here, go throw something on the grill. Have a great weekend. And if you're still here, you're book people. And in my book, that makes you the best people. My name is John Minton. That is...
Amy Minton.
No, you're not Amy Minton.
I wish I was.
You would be, you're pretty impressive just the way you are.
Well,
Except
thank
when you knock the wind out of yourself.
That was a long time ago.
And you kind of, you get a little squirmy.
Yeah. Feel like I'm gonna die?
Yeah, you feel like you're going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Jacob Minton, who doesn't feel like he's going to want to die today. And this has been Talking Story.